Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go.
On my own, here we go.
If you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
The communists declared that the real differences among our people constituted the weakest and most vulnerable point in our social fabric.
It's MAGA country.
This is no hoax, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you to run for your lives while you can. We're not making this up just so we can take over the world.
The old dinosaur media isn't dying, it's dead. We are the new media. This is our world now. Lay down and die.
Peace was never an option.
So if we don't step up and win this culture war, then who the fuck will?
Let's wake the fuck up! We're gonna get naked.
No. I'm locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
That's what you've been waiting for. Be the one we need.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Global industrial complex.
Yep.
Uniparty.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
The point is to destroy Western civilization from within using Maoist technique.
So therefore you have to vote for me.
I don't know. This is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Hey.
Woke is Marxism, evolved to attack the West.
Hey!
Stop giving up.
It's only just begun! Now!
Do it! Yes, you can!
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Just do it!
Are people bitching about that?
Some people.
Of course they are. Oh, fucking A. All right, got it. Yeah, too fucking bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Any far left conspiracies, to be honest with you.
Ain't no single entity going to swoop in and save the day. You are going to be continuously let down if you place all of your hope into one individual. Instead, look inside and look around. We're doing this together.
We all are fighting for the same thing, and we all see the same problem.
It's time to stop being an NPC, get off your ass, and join the meme war.
Shame. Shame.
No, I don't like you.
Shame.
If we were in the wild, I would attack you.
I'm sick of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it. I will not do it again.
Thank you. I wonder how many people feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Be the beating drum at the head of the growing creative cavalry charge. Be vocal and profound in your passion for projects you enjoy.
No more excuses.
I've seen it. I can't even compute all of it. It's so fantastical. You've not seen nothing. You ain't heard nothing. You ain't smelled nothing like this. I don't have words to tell you.
A new world order.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Hey, wait a minute.
You control population, you destroy the family, and then you you sow division.
You don't need a destination when you're running on an omnidirectional treadmill.
Are we ready for a new world order?
You'll never defeat the human spirit. You'll never defeat God. You'll never win.
Pray that he is watching.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you.
On my own, here we go.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Just crashed? I have no idea. Are we here?
You just fucked that up.
Right? What just happened?
We're here on my phone.
Everybody's here. We're all here. Yeah, let me do that. We'll check that stuff too. Make sure they're here. So how is everyone?
Awesome.
Pitch poke, you owe someone a Coke.
I'll just thank you.
I started the pre-gaming a little bit late though. But
Yeah, I see you hammering on that horn over yonder, bro. That's some high yield mead you got going on. I can see the fumes.
The Ripper. Hey.
All right, so let me do the introductions. We have Ajot, my personal binky, who shows up every time I get nervous. We have Sasquatch hunter Sandy, who has found at least one Sasquatch I can personally attest to. We have the wandering hippie down here in the bottom left-hand corner being lost in his own personal hellscape of fractures. And then King Gak the Ripper over here to the right. He's experts on YouTube, if anybody's interested out there. I've got some videos we're going to check out. You want to see them?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. So before we get started on that, what do you know, any of you? I've asked a couple of y'all beforehand, but about the Hat Man. Have you ever heard of the Hat Man?
Do you know the Hat Man? The Hat Man.
I haven't heard of him, but I'm happy to make anything up about him if you need.
we may very well get to that point because the lore on this is a little bit weird. I personally had a person describe the Hat Man to me after she attempted to unsubscribe from life using Benadryl. And to my knowledge, she's never mentioned it to anyone else on Earth. But a few years later, I came across a story on like Reddit or MySpace or something like that back in the day about the exact same thing taking place to someone else. And from there, it kind of spiraled out. There's more and more stories supposedly about this Hat Man that shows up if you take too much Benadryl or Robitussin or something.
Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
If you add shrooms to it, it's a purple Hat Man.
You ain't seen nothing, ATL. Stop lying. I don't know. Maybe on that tea.
I think if you take too much of anything, you see the Hat Man, right?
Purple train.
What does the Hat Man do when he shows up?
Well, the one person that described him basically sitting there whispering in a language she couldn't understand while she tried to negotiate with him, argue with him, and after the event itself, where she was like okay and got out of the hospital and stuff, she told me that she would rather live forever than ever have to deal with that thing ever again.
Really?
I have had someone tell me about a story about a tall, dark character that would come in and just sit in the corner of her room. Not quite the same thing, but she got more of a protective vibe out of that figure.
Right. I would probably put a few rounds in it just on principle.
I suspect it would go right through him and through the wall and into your neighbor's mailbox or something.
I think it's a good investment of lead just to find out, you know. We should be sure about these things.
Right? That's true. We need to know.
John DeNicola said he saw the pink elephant when he was drunk.
I too have seen. I have seen both a pink and blue life-sized elephant. Like no bullshit. In Hardyville in South Carolina, there used to be this fireworks stand over there, just off the interstate, and dude, I'm not joking when I say there was a like 19-foot tall pink and blue elephant. John Norman's fiberglass elephants. I've got pictures of them. I can prove they once existed.
I haven't seen an elephant, but I have on a number of occasions had the voices whisper some very, very bad ideas into my ear. Like convincing me I could do a handstand on my balcony.
Those
aren't the voices. Those aren't the voices. They're just intrusive thoughts, bro. We all have them. You're not supposed to act on the intrusive thoughts.
You remember the story of the Candyman?
I know he can.
That's bringing up.
The remake that they just did of the Candyman is badass. It's one of the best ones I've seen. Yeah, it's really good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's awesome.
I will have to.
It was made quite a few years ago, but it's really good.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I kind of assumed it would be terrible.
No, I mean, it's good.
All right, so the Hat Man. No one knows about the Hat Man but me. That's fantastic. That'd make this even more interesting. So we're going to go at this in about 2-minute lifts if possible. They may try to kick us out of existence, but we'll just come back because we're becoming nuclear countries.
Social media is no stranger to seemingly random and harmless challenges. Usually, these lighthearted videos are meant to make us laugh, and some may even be tied to a great cause. But one challenge has caused severe and permanent harm to many, and even claimed lives. And the terrifying thing is that the product in question is probably in your household right now.
Unthinkable tragedy. An Oklahoma teenager dies as a result of the latest TikTok challenge.
Benadryl, or diphenhydramine, is an antihistamine used to relieve symptoms of the common cold. It can help prevent motion sickness, treat insomnia, and even aid in controlling abnormal movements in people with early Parkinson's disease. Benadryl is generally safe when the recommended dosage is taken, but when you ingest more than instructed, it is one of the most powerful reality-distorting drugs you can take.
The challenge involves taking 10 or more pills to trip out or hallucinate. A dosage that size can be life-threatening for anyone.
The challenge appealed to many susceptible teens and young adults. It hit headlines when a 15-year-old girl from Oklahoma died from partaking in the challenge. A tragedy like this from a viral challenge is disturbing enough. But this is only the surface of a much darker and more terrifying world than you can imagine.
My daughter consumed over Benadryl around midnight, November 30th, 2020. My daughter is still awake, hallucinating. It is now December 1st, 2020. For over 24 hours, she has been hallucinating.
First, you have to understand how the
All right. So y'all see what we're getting at here, right? We're talking severely high doses of a basic chemical that's in most people's houses.
Right.
So only us in StreamYard can see the rumble unless I highlight it. Like
right.
That.
Yes.
Right. And if you type into StreamYard, does it type in rumble? It does here.
No, not when I was in it.
All right.
Oh, you're on Rumble right now?
We're on X and Rumble and YouTube and AJOT's channel. And if we're gonna have a takedown, it'll be on the third video. It's just fair warning.
You have 7 people watching you though in Rumble.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't understand. I've supposedly have 7 people over there. There's me and like Andrea Jean 81 who have chatted in chat, and that's it.
Right.
So I don't think I understand what Rumble's for. I think eventually it's just going to kind of click, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be uploading that type of stuff over there." But until then, all I need to do is throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks.
I'm gonna go log into your Rumble on my phone real quick.
You're invading me. Okay. So the Hat Man. In the event that you take a nearly lethal dose of Benadryl, supposedly this individual shows up and shadows you for a little while. Now, it has the act of doing this has other mental and psychological and chemical effects, not only in the brain, but in like your kidneys, your liver, and various other places. It alters your chemistry significantly. Hence the hallucinations. Anyone? Anything? Have we frozen?
No, we haven't frozen.
No, we're here.
I'm gonna have to go take some Benadryl tonight. And
Not yet. No,
tell
not
you
yet. Afterwards, and then don't do it at all. Just lie and say you did, and this will tell you how to lie.
I mean, I think there's always things around us that we can't see. And what if that chemical just makes it a little more possible for us to see what's there?
Aha, a twist.
All right, so this kind of goes down the road of ayahuasca and the dream time, these
Right.
kinds of things. There is a certain synergy between the different reports from the various ayahuasca imbibers that seem to agree that there's some form of intelligence out there that's imperceptible without the higher thought functions brought upon by specifically this blend of hallucinogens. I'm not sure I buy that because I've done mushrooms, but maybe. I saw the machine elves with the mushrooms. I don't think you have to have that much of a higher frame of thought, like I was pretty high. And it's just mushroom.
Some people believe if you just raise your vibration through meditation, you'll be able to see what's there.
Okay. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Hallucinations and experiences in Benadryl.
What?
Did you see what Duke City said? Nutmeg in a large doses has the same effect.
I have heard this, but I've never seen anyone capable of taking a large enough dose. I mean, it must be truly massive. Like,
And he said it will kill you. He tagged and bagged the guy. Like, wow.
So
Yes.
how many? So how many pumpkin pies would I need to eat to get the right dosage?
It's a lot of pumpkin spice, baby.
I could be convinced.
You can.
Just try it.
Wow. All right, I'm in
Different from psychedelics like LSD. Diphenhydramine is categorized as a very rare subclass of hallucinogen called a deliriant. Another example of a deliriant is datura, so you know this is hardcore stuff. A deliriant induces delirium, a state of utter confusion coupled with lifelike hallucinations. It's not uncommon to hallucinate an entire family member or friend in your room talking to you, only to find out that, of course, you've been alone the entire time. At certain dosages, you'll forget you even took Benadryl in the first place, which can lead to life-ending situations like redosing or acting out a nightmare hallucination in a state of full psychosis. Some common hallucinations amongst users range from spiders, snakes, footsteps, voices, familiar and unfamiliar, shadow people, and of course, the infamous Hat Man. I'll get into him in a minute. Some even...
All right, so I want you to imagine you took some Benadryl, and maybe you took some more, not realizing that you took the first dose, right? And you get into this realm of having almost overdosed on Benadryl, and you meet this fucker. You're just going to the bathroom. He's standing in the shower staring at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with your approach of trying to put a few rounds downrange.
One in the head, two in the chest, and if that don't do it, he's not there. We turn over our guns, we sit in the corner and think about the decisions that brought us to this point in our life.
I'm kind of going down Sandy's path of these things are there, and there are ways to open your perception to pick them up.
Okay. One of the weirdest things, have you ever heard of the rods debate? You know
No.
what a rod is? All right. So there are certain cameras that utilize certain types of shutter speeds that pick up these things that look like spiral shaped critters. Most people agree that they're just bugs at a high frame rate, or rather a low frame rate. But it's a really neat thought experiment to say, okay, well, perhaps only things between certain shutter speeds can pick up on, extra dimensional things. And so these rods could very well be an extant thing that we just don't interact with on a different wavelength, as it were.
Somebody just sent me trail cam footage that sounds very similar to what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was a really big deal back in like the late 90s for some reason. Like everyone just decided rods were a thing. I think Ancient Aliens even did an episode on it. I don't know. I've always preferred the double negative images of ghosts myself. The ones that leave you wondering.
I'm going to make a couple of suppositions here. One is, it's unlikely that the Benadryl attracts these things, right? So they're probably already there if they exist. The other counterpoint is group hallucinations. Too much mead. Group hallucinations are not unheard of, right? So if someone has heard of the Hat Man, it could have planted the seed, and it is just a hallucination.
Sure. But the only reason I was interested in this is because of a very old anecdotal bit of evidence that I have of my own that is unrelated to internet activity. I have no idea where she would have come across the story of the Hat Man back in the late 80s. No clue.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. I guess it's possible.
I think don't a lot of scientists believe that we're living in multi-dimensions side by side? Like there's another Caucasian Sasquatch right at the desk right now, but he's talking about a different topic, or he's doing
it way better than mine.
Because I was just trying to find a video. I think he believes there's 5 dimensions is what he's come up with scientifically, that there's 5 dimensions going on simultaneously right now. We're all kind of doing the same thing, but with a different premise to each story, which, is mind-blowing when you start thinking about shit like that,
That would imply only that 5 dimensions perpendicular to our own. That's an awful lot of subdimensions. Like, are we going 3rd dimension in time in one of these dimensions? This is going to be a difficult one to hammer out.
So if I can get this right, I was watching an episode of Joe Rogan, and one of his guests was talking about the idea of different dimensions. So we as humans live in 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions if you include time in it, but we cast a shadow in 2 dimensions, right? So if you have a creature that's only seeing your shadow, they got a completely different perspective than your whole being. So whatever the 5th dimension might be something we can't even comprehend. But if it throws a shadow into our dimension, it's going to be somewhat unnatural to our experienced senses.
I like that.
We're perceiving their shadow effect on our dimension, but only just barely.
That's awesome.
I throw another thought out there. How many of you have studied any quantum theory?
A little bit, mostly M theory and string theory.
So there's this idea that there is a field of all possibilities. So every possibility in the universe that could ever be imagined already exists there. And you can get into this field of all possibilities by letting go of all physicality, all thought, all identity. And I mean, if all possibilities exist, the Hat Man is for sure real.
Well, now I'm terrified.
Well, kind of to piggyback on that, some of the substances you take maybe relax your thoughts on what the real world structure is, and lets you perceive things that are maybe in a different dimension. That's so if someone were to, or even if you look at the parallel universes, right? If someone were to look at our parallel or look at our universe, we all in different periods of time look fairly similar, dress fairly similar, that type of thing. So, maybe they are perceiving a parallel universe that's close enough that you can get glimpses of it, and that's how people dress at that point in time.
They all wear fedora hats and sit in the corner menacingly. I don't like that universe. I do not like that place, Sam. I am. No, sir.
Well, maybe just the time of the shadow perplexing from one dimension to the other distorts the look in itself. So it might not even be that they look different. You know what I mean? Clothes different. But I like that. Do you remember who that was on Joe Rogan? Because I watch a lot of Joe. I can't recall who that was.
I'll have to look back and figured out. I don't recall. But if you
Let's
think
just
about
call
it,
it what
if you
it
go-
is. It's drug induced psychosis.
How can it be a psychosis induced by drugs that always shows the same effects?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. But if you think about it, if you go back to the 40s, everyone pretty much wore, at least in the West, wore a fedora. So, if you think about parallel dimensions, adding the element of time, maybe you're looking back through time, something like that.
Well, and here's another, just to go out on a limb once again, since that's my role. I have some friends who are ghost hunters, and they always say, be careful where you are when you are using mood-altering substances, because you will actually draw in lower energy spirits or whatever might be out there.
Yeah, it's kind of different than the direction I was thinking. I was thinking they're already there. It just gives you the perception of them. I'm kind of with the Caucasian Sasquatch here. The idea of drawing things in is not pleasant to my sanity.
Well, I mean, but we do draw things in sober or messed up, and maybe not necessarily spirit type things, but why would that be any different?
Okay. Drugs are bad, okay? We're going to stick with that. We're sticking with it. We're sticking with it. That's the okay.
Experience smoking phantom cigarettes. These experiences are bizarre, dangerous, and in some cases, life-ending. This world that you seemingly enter through large dosages of Benadryl tend to be so common that there's an entire community dedicated to guiding and documenting this dark journey. And just a little spoiler alert, they have great memes. Just a little disclaimer. This community does not exist to encourage anyone to trip on Benadryl. DPH is
Yeah, don't do this, kids. Don't try this at home.
Isn't that what they make meth out of too? I mean, don't they like cook Robitussin in there?
Well,
what is
not
Sudafed? Is Sudafed?
We're not giving the freaking recipe out over here. Come on.
Well, the fact that they say you have to get near the line of death is a bit discouraging to me. I don't know that I want to, as a layperson, try and figure out where that line is.
Right. Yeah, I'm not even interested, honestly. Like y'all can let me know from over there. I'll read about it in tomorrow's paper. It'll be fine.
It's an interesting community.
So is the Hat Man
What is literally with those talking about their experiences, questions about tripping. Some posts are sad and concerned.
Pardon me.
Is the Hat Man a common experience?
Yes, it is almost ubiquitous, specifically to the overuse of Benadryl.
Huh. And does
That's why
Benadryl have different chemicals than every other medication?
Why would well, there are a couple of these types of it's a what's it called? It told us earlier. The delirium. It is a type of hallucinogen called a delirium. In high doses, it can cause really whacked out hallucinations. The problem is, one, they don't end just because you want them to. You kind of got to filter that stuff out through your kidneys and liver and stuff, and it's not good for you. Don't do this at home, kids. Negative. It is bad. Okay. So the issue here is that these people who do this thing often return with almost identical explanations of what they experience.
That is puzzling.
Firm audits.
Firm. I really appreciate the input, bro, but I'm not getting into the ingredients, yo. We're not giving the freaking recipe out tonight. Tune in backstage later. We could talk about it. I'll tell you the aquarium story, and that's another one not friendly for YouTube. So I might be able to get away with that one on Rumble, though. I don't know.
I believe in what some people would call an invisible man in the sky. So to believe that there are of something called the Hat Man isn't far from reality in my mind.
When it comes to the Invisible Man in the sky, I really hope there are other dimensions and a lot of different people in those other dimensions, because it would explain where the hell he's been. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, it's your faith, you know? Nobody's got it anymore, you know?
I'll buy that. We good? Okay. I shall continue.
Concerning because addiction is real. Some know the deadly effects of overdosing, but some truly just don't care. There's no shortage of sad stories on here, like this user's descent into fatal madness, all documented in this thread. Most people on the thread admit and agree that Benadryl trips are terrible. They're dark and twisted, but the thrill keeps them upping the ante. The moderators have a very detailed post describing the levels of Benadryl pinned at the top, including the level where you will see the Hat Man. Let's get into it. Therapeutic level, milligrams, which is Benadryl pills. Probably just going to make you sleepy and cure your allergies temporarily. If you can stay up at the higher end, you might get a tiny bit of a body high and mental slowdown, kind of like being on a benzo. Not really worth it unless you just want to sleep. 50 milligrams can potentiate opiates well. Level 1, 100 milligrams, which is Benadryl pills. This is known as
Can we pause for a second? I just want to, one of the things I'd caution here, and this is with your let's not talk about recipes, right? People need to be careful because he's given exact milligrams, and the milligrams, I'm going to guess that it would take me at 270 pounds to get into any particular state are going to be drastically different than, say, my sister at vastly less pounds than that. So if people are trying to follow this and like, oh, I want to try it, you know,
I could take that even a step further and say that even a smaller guy who has different enzymes who processes it faster, and he gets even higher and he dies, you know, or he doesn't get anything, so he takes a lot more. And I think this whole video is kind of
irresponsible.
Yeah, irresponsible. I didn't mean to talk shit, but that's the way I feel.
Well, I kind of agree. Although YouTube did force him to remove all of the information from this informative video.
But
people are going to try and figure it out now, and they're going to be like, "Oh, here's the rest."
Everybody's going to try and see the Hat Man, and then make a YouTube video about their experience with the Hat Man. You know,
what you're making a video about is your experience with the hospital, not the Hat Man.
Right? Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right. Sorry to interrupt, but I thought that was kind of an important thing to say.
Kind of what it's all about is for us to all kind of poke at a really weird subject that I found, because I look for the weirdest.
Okay, well, if everybody has to get to a similar state from Benadryl to see the Hat Man, it kind of, in my mind, reminds me of near-death experiences where many people who have had near-death experiences experience the same thing as well. And so
the Hat Man? I doubt that.
No, not necessarily with a near-death experience, but maybe like as your brain gets to shut down levels, maybe there's just common experiences that people have.
Most of these people survive, and that's not to say it's less dangerous than implied. It is dangerous. It does horrible things to your body that I can't even begin to describe. But
whoa, hold on. Near total loss of penis function. Does it get any worse than that? That's a pretty horrible thing right there.
No.
I don't know what it was bolded. It was bolded. How could I not make a comment?
It's because it makes you know what? Feel better. There might be slight music enhancement, and you'll get a bit of that DPH body heaviness, but most people take this amount so their orgasms are enhanced. I really don't recommend doing anything sexual on DPH, though. There's several Arrowhead reports of people having some degree of sexual dysfunction after doing this a few times, with one notable one of a 20-year-old developing full-on erectile dysfunction as in near total loss of penis function after abusing DPH for a year. This is probably due to DPH's vasoconstrictive properties.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You. That is all.
Carry on.
Level 2, 300 milligrams, which is Benadryl pills. This is probably the best range to use it at if you don't want full-blown delirium. Music sounds great, your mouth is going to be so fucking dry, and you're going to have to piss a lot. However, for a lot of people, they are unable to urinate on DPH, or at least it becomes very difficult. Your body feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds, but surprisingly, I usually don't fall asleep or even feel sleepy at this level. You might start seeing slight movement in the corner of your eyes, or occasionally see a spider where there is no spider. You'll probably experience auditory hallucinations like a family member calling your name from the distance.
Did you bring the plastic mint? Forgive me. I am the ocean. I do not wish to intrude. It's bad quotes from better movies.
Or faint footsteps outside your door. Mentally, your short-term memory is going to start to go to hell, and you won't be able to keep a thought going very long. Some people get closed-eyed visuals at this level, which for me are usually short, nonsensical, and very abstract visions, which usually are influenced by the music I'm listening to. Level 2 continued, 300 milligrams, which is Benadryl pills. This is a dosage level between the high I described above and full-blown delirium. The positive effects will get a bit stronger, especially the confusion, but in my
positive with really big quotation marks, as in there's nothing positive beyond the previous two levels.
Got a question for you quick. Do you suppose this came out originally unblocked?
I bet you it did.
You know, with all those numbers in place, and at some point YouTube took it down or warned him to blot it out, so he had to redo it.
Yeah, I imagine it got put up and got filtered pretty quick, so he fixed it.
Yeah.
That's probably the upload out of it too, so you know.
I know all about that.
So I got to ask, the positive effect is confusion. I can be a very positive individual if that's the case.
In fact, a confusion is what I call a group of Sasquatches. Confusion of Sasquatches. Yes, sir.
I like that.
Hey, we got somebody on Rumble over there. A very lonely person on Rumble over there.
My experience and many others delivers the negative effects get much worse, far outweighing the positives. Hallucinations, especially auditory, become much more common, but you still have some ability to differentiate them from reality. Your perfect dosage may be somewhere in this level, especially if you're a larger person. But for most people, this is a shitty dosage. Level 3, delirium, 500 milligrams, which is 20 Benadryl pills. Delirium begins to set in, especially past milligrams, and is almost guaranteed at 700 milligrams for most people, hence the 700 Club. The 700 Club, by the way, is an exclusive club / Discord only available to those who have done 100 milligrams of Benadryl or more. You will probably forget you took anything, and you will have full lifelike hallucinations. Your parents or the police might come in and harass you for taking drugs. You'll see spiders or snakes all over the place. You might text your friend or grab a remote to change the channel and then see your phone / remote evaporate immediately. Your friends will probably come over and hang out with you for a little bit, probably telling you all about very strange, twisted things. Phantom cigarettes are quite an enjoyable smoke at this dose.
All right. I'm just going to need a minute before we get any higher. Phantom cigarettes. What the hell are we talking about here? like full on just psychotically induced cigarette smoking.
What do they call that? Sherm when you put PCP on the cigarette?
That's when
do that.
That's
Jesus,
when
what kind of people do you hang around with? The horn noise was on the video.
That's when the Hat Man, the Hat Man lights a joint and he passes it to you from the whatever dimension he's in.
Hell, man, I may have actually encountered that dude. You didn't tell me that before. I'm pretty sure I met that guy.
It's also known as cigaweed.
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 Welcome in, Firm Audits. We got some Rumble activity taking place over there. I think that's the most I've ever had happen in my chat.
It's cool. On the phone. I'm able to be in both places somehow at the same time. I don't even understand how that's working, but I'm in Rumble and YouTube at the same time.
You're in parallel dimensions, parallel universes.
Totally.
Obviously. Yeah,
when
that's
people-
the weird thing is in Rumble, I when this started, I think I had 14 followers, and I'll range between 5 or 6 people to 25 or 6 people over there. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. Nobody ever chats. They just breeze through like they own the joint and leave. I don't know.
Yeah, I told you. Same with me in South Alabama. We did, I don't know, 5 or 6 lives over there, and it's great over there because you can play anything music. You can play the video, play anything you want, any movie, any TV show. But the weird thing is the same exact thing. It would be 20, 25, 30 people in there, but not one person would ever chat. Maybe 1 or 2 people might comment over time, but not during the live. You know what I mean?
It's kind of
well, I mean, when I'm in there, it says you have 13 followers and there's 12 watching. So I mean, hey,
right?
That's pretty good over, I guess.
Is it real or is it fucking, like some of these video games where they put fake people in as bots to make it seem like the game is rolling,
Yeah, I don't know. These seem to be pretty legitimate folks so far. I mean, I got a few comments per stream, but I don't know what to do with it over there. I have no idea. I haven't done enough over there to know anything.
See, I've got
about
my shit set up so that any live I do on YouTube automatically goes on there. As soon as I shut down the live on YouTube, it instantly projects right over to so every live since I started Wandering Hippie goes to Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good backup.
But it goes up as a backup and an afterthought, right?
Right, unless you set it up to run simultaneously like you're doing. I've got it set up as just a backup. So say I do a live stream right now, the cops, blah, blah, blah. The minute I shut it down, that uploads to both YouTube and to Rumble.
Right. I'm trying to tap into the live streaming people on Rumble and X, even though I know there's a huge population there, but at the same time, it takes different things to access them. And I'm just not.
You want to know where the huge population is, bro? Try Kick. It's a little bit more difficult to get live, but bro, over there you get rooms with 15,000 people in a live. The fucking chat, you can't even read it. It looks like something out of a fucking science movie. 15,000 people in a fucking chat, and you got a whole fucking list of hundreds and hundreds of channels, with 5,000-6,000 people in there. It's insane.
But yet again, are they real?
I mean, I know you've seen Caucasian Sasquatch backstage before every show. I mean, just imagine his freak out. You know what I mean? If he starts.
Oh my God! Why did you say that, dude? I hadn't even thought of it. There's 100,000 people out there. I would nut slam the. I wouldn't do it. There's something else to go out front. I would just sit backstage and freak out in private.
I like 15 or 20 people. You can chat with the people that's in there. If you got 200 people in your chat, it's going 30 miles an hour. You can't be personal with anybody. It's kind of lame.
It sucks. Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Yeah, Caucasian Sasquatch, just have yourself a phantom cigarette. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right?
We'll get there.
Level 4. Benadryl pills. OP states this is the highest you should ever dose if you even care about your health at all. You will develop HPPD for a few days and possibly beyond. HPPD is a hallucinogen persisting perception disorder where you have warped distortions in your perception for prolonged periods of time, potentially permanently.
That's scary as fuck.
Ariel is categorized.
Just the thought of that.
That's nightmarish.
That's how I feel like if I've been kidding around about doing some mushrooms to test my pain levels and stuff and see if it helps. But the thing is, I'm too paranoid to try it. I feel like if I took it, I would start feeling like I was going to die. And, when I was a kid, I used to eat a half ounce of that shit. But, I've been sober for 30 years. I don't think I could do it anymore.
Have you done ayahuasca?
I have not.
I have not done ayahuasca. I've done peyote. I've done LSD. I've done mushrooms.
How about microdosing? Have you experienced that?
I haven't myself tried that yet. I've done everything he's done, plus about 100 more.
Yeah, hippie.
Yeah, I did. I was stupid with drugs growing up. If it got in front of me, I did it.
I was a little bit less.
Cocaine for days.
That's the thing. I never could do cocaine. Every time I tried to do cocaine, it was an immediate migraine. Like the very second that shit
really?
Got a yeah. So, I
don't recommend it, but great fun.
Yeah, of course. I don't recommend any of this stuff, but I never enjoyed cocaine at all, like in any format.
Wow. Good for you. You're lucky.
I've never done psychedelics.
I mean, I've seen people have a lot of fun, but I didn't enjoy it and did not understand how they were doing it.
What Ken say? He's done psychedelics? Yeah.
No. I said I've never done psychedelics. I do judgmentadelics, which is alcohol. So, I don't have visions. I just have, like I said, the voices suggesting very poor ideas.
Right.
Like,
yeah, those evasive thoughts, bud. We talked about those earlier.
How about any other drugs? Anything else? That was it.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is a narcotics tonight. Like we could do that in the second half, baby, if you feel up to it.
The recipes.
Well, I'm curious. So the Hat Man only appears for people with Benadryl, like no other drug.
Right.
Specifically, it's what did they call it? Damn it.
The benzodiazepine.
Specifically, deliriant hallucinogens, and there's only a handful of those, and they are all related to like the diphenhydramine. They're analogs of it, and so it's like this very specific hallucination that people have who do a very specific thing.
It's kind of odd. Like the image that they portray of the Hat Man seems somewhat similar to images that people see when they have sleep paralysis. Maybe not the hatted man, but like the tall, dark shadow people.
I've had that. I didn't see a tall, dark shadow, but I've had sleep paralysis.
I'll tell you another place you see someone like that, man.
Say again?
I can tell you one place you see someone that looks like the Hat Man, and you have all seen him. A neighborhood watch sign.
You're right.
Also, back during the Cold War, you had the Ivan images.
And that's not ringing a bell for me.
Maybe if you're in the military. Never mind then. Carry on.
Oh,
well,
and moving on.
I immediately thought of a horror movie when I saw the image of the Hat Man, but I don't watch horror, so I don't know which one.
Hey.
Characterized by almost complete disconnection from reality. Often people at this level will spend hours walking around talking to people, swatting phantom bugs, and blink and realize they've just been standing in one spot, and everything that just occurred was a fantasy. OP states that dosing anything over level 4 leads to Ariel, and that you should never wish to reach Ariel unless you have a death wish, and even goes as far as to say that if you had a death wish, you should find another way, because dosing at this level can shrink your brain, conjure seizures, leave you with lifelong psychological issues, and of course, easily kill you. Here is his experience reaching this terrifying level. Hallucinations at this level tend to become hellish, with disturbing, often violent imagery commonly occurring. You may genuinely develop PTSD if you survive a dose of this size. Shadow people, including the Hat Man, are almost always present as well. This level is objectively terrible for your mental and physical health. Seizures are not uncommon, and a high risk of death or serious health complications, including stroke and heart attack, is present above grams. I personally have dosed this high one time in an unalive attempt. I'd guess that I took grams at least. I was aiming for. I do not remember much of the trip at all, as I believe I spent a lot of it seizing. I have a few memories of the trip, which I don't think are entirely fabricated. One is of being in a cave, throwing a torch at a cave demon, and then realizing that I was in my hallway, and I had thrown my phone at my dog. Another is a general feeling of being chased.
Bro, I have a terrifying dog. I couldn't imagine it if I started tripping him up to a cave demon.
I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight.
Take a Benadryl, you'll be fine.
Benadryl and a phantom cigarette, you'll sleep just fine.
You're right up, Raid, buddy.
Can I ask you a question? Is the name of this video the phenomena of the Hat Man documentary?
Seeing the Hat Man, the Benadryl problem is the name of the video.
Because I just randomly, while you were talking, because you know how I am with this fucking AI, I typed in the AI, who is the Hat Man? Gave a pretty interesting write-up on who the Hat Man is. But funnily, it doesn't really mention the whatever this stuff is, this dextromethorphan stuff. But it's a pretty interesting write-up about him, with several videos to watch in relation to what they're saying about the Hat Man. So it's quite a bit of information out there. I'm surprised I've never come across it before. So you definitely find the odd.
I stumbled across this particular topic quite a while ago, and it wasn't until I came across a couple of videos on it that I went, wait a second. You mean this just wasn't one batshit girl on a beach telling me some cracked out things? There's other batshit crazy bitches on beaches telling cracked out things? That's crazy.
It says it's a worldwide phenomenon on the write-up. I don't know.
All right, let's go back to the nightmare so we can slog through it.
By something with teeth. The most horrific one was seeing my entire family, as well as most of my friends and coworkers, crucified and bleeding on my front lawn and screaming at me for doing this to them. This experience, combined with my previous use of the substance, left me with severe HPPD, worsened my depression, and caused momentary flashbacks to the delirious state for months after it happened. So Benadryl trips in large quantities are terrifying. And though OP mentioned that once you reach Ariel, the Hat Man is always present, I want to point out that he has been reported in every level amongst Benadryl users. So who is the Hat Man, and why do Benadryl users frequently see him while they are tripping? Well, no one knows. The Hat Man has become a common meme in the Benadryl community. In fact, I heard about the Hat Man before knowing that Benadryl users frequently report seeing him. This intrigued me. Remember I said they have great memes? Check these out. Theories on the Hat Man vary from him being a shadow.
I have to ask.
I'm a terrible person.
The Benadryl community. The Benadryl community, really?
I know. I remember back a time ago they had it named like Dex. All the young guys were, running around. Dex is great, and you couldn't buy it on the fucking shelves anywhere for a while, and kids were drinking it like fucking booze.
I've got to rest up for tomorrow. Tomorrow is my smoke stream. It's going to be a groundhog roast tomorrow. So
nice.
Tomorrow, I'm very nice. I'm very gentle with everyone. Tomorrow, I'm not. It's no holds barred, man. I'm assuming you're coming in guns blazing. I don't like having to abuse people in a battle of wits with the unarmed. That is not what this is for. Don't be a sci-fi bra. Sci-fi bra. This man to death. He was a good sport about the whole thing, even though I really hurt his freaking feelings, and I didn't mean to. He came up on my groundhog roast stream, which is what I do every year on my birthday.
2 years ago.
This was 2 years ago?
Yep, 2 years ago.
He comes in, we have a pretty decent conversation, and I explained to him several times, I've got to roast you up before we go too far. And he's like, right, yeah, okay. And then I just went off on him for a solid 2 minutes straight. And when it was done, he was like, hurt. Like I could see I had hurt that man's feelings. I was like, dude, I tried to tell you. Like, I gave you an opportunity to run away and everything, and you stuck around.
So is he not liking it?
No.
Well, I mean, I offended him. Have you ever offended Sci-Fi Bra?
He hates me with a passion, bro. If I even say hi in his chat, he flips out. And I did nothing wrong. I don't even want to go into a big thing, but basically someone in chat said there's something going on in chat, and I asked him to come up, and a big fight ensued, and I had completely nothing really to do with it, but I'm a piece of shit now. So
I gave him full explanation of what I was doing. You don't have to come on panel, but if you do, I'm gonna talk about you.
I've got a loaded gun sitting here.
Yeah. I'm happy for you, bro. You are not that good of a shot. I'm in Georgia. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, no, I offended him, and I didn't really mean to offend him. I tried my best to kind of pull the teeth on it beforehand because I didn't know how sensitive he might be. Anyway, it's something that's going to go down tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure when. I've been hunting for a good thumbnail and the right things.
Sci-Fi don't like Toe for Life because of Jeff.
Well, I don't Toe for Life, but that's just a personal thing. Love you.
Some believe he's an alien or an interdimensional being sent to observe us from a distant future or another plane. Some believe he is a demon, and some are sure that he is the devil himself. He is described as a tall, featureless man wearing a trench coat and an old-style fedora hat. You cannot make out any of his facial features. You can only see his silhouette. Some witnesses do report seeing him with a set of glowing red eyes. What he wants is unknown. He seems to merely observe. Many experience terrible dread in his presence. He doesn't appear to be friendly, and though he is commonly cited within Benadryl users, he has been experienced by many others, often during cases of sleep paralysis that has also been reported during waking hours. He is also reported all over the world. The Hat Man may not be what you think of when you think of something scary, but he did make my heart drop when I first heard of him, because before I knew anything about a supposed Hat Man, I saw him. This is the sole reason why I'm so intrigued with the Hat Man, because when I was 7 or 9 years old, give or take, I saw him. When I was a kid, I used to sleep in the same room as my parents in a different bed. I know, total cock blocker, but our house was small and full, so naturally I had to have my own bed in my parents' room. My parents would often stay up late watching TV while I slept, and I could recall just hearing the TV and seeing the blue light flickering underneath the door. Anyway, one night I woke up. Right next to me, alongside my bed, I see a figure of a man. And honestly, when you Google like the Hat Man, that is exactly what I saw at that moment. I mean, just from the trench coat to the fedora style hat, everything. It's just the way he's reported. That's what's crazy about it. And I thought it was my dad. So I started calling out to him and I was like, Dad, nothing, no reply. I could just see the figure standing there. Again, I was like, Dad, and again, no reply. So I start reaching out to him, like extending my hand, trying to touch him. And I'm calling him like dad, you know, like what the hell? And at that moment, my actual dad comes in the room and he's like, why are you calling me? And I was like, wow, I could have sworn you were standing right here. Of course, I was 7 or 9 years old and I never heard of the Hat Man then. And this personal story of mine never even creeped me out growing up, honestly. I just grew up remembering this vivid memory of seeing this guy in a coat and a hat. And I just thought it was kind of like funny. Like, oh, like that's weird that I imagined some silhouette with like a coat and a hat. And, you know, as I got older, I became infatuated with the paranormal. And when I heard of the Hat Man, my stomach just sank because I was just like, that's exactly what I saw as a kid. So who is the Hat Man? Well, I don't know, but I'm intrigued.
How about that? Isn't that just nuts?
I'm still kind of the impression that it's a phenomena or a being that's there that, I mean, I kind of feel that it's not there looking for any particular person. It's just there and we're observing something that you don't typically see. I kind of like the idea that it's a parallel universe that you're seeing a shadow of and they probably don't even know you're there.
I don't know, Ken, when they mentioned sleep paralysis, and I remember this dumpy apartment I had when I was in college, like the building used to be the poor farm. So that's where everybody went around the turn of the century if they didn't have a place to be. And I would get sleep paralysis in that apartment, and I didn't see the Hat Man, but I could sense the dread they were talking about, and I knew something was coming towards me. That is a freaky thing.
I asked everyone in chat, have you seen the Hat Man? And 22% say yes, and 77% say no. That's with 31 votes.
Wow.
So I would say a significant proportion of people have at least witnessed something they represent as the Hat Man.
I think more people have seen something like that than even realize it. They just attribute it to like their imagination or whatnot.
Evil mothers. All right, so we've got a few women here who have done nefarious things with children. And since I don't approve of such things, I figured we would laugh at them online so as to dissuade anyone else from being nefarious in the presence of children. I will laugh at you when you get arrested. I will go, you don't want that, do you? Shame. Shame.
To get laughed at when you're arrested? No, that's bad.
Right.
That's bad.
I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, and we're all going to laugh at it because we find it humorous that you were arrested being a dumbass. You're being a dumbass and thinking you could lord everything over everybody, Miss Karen, and we're not your children, and neither is the nice officer.
Thankfully, my arrests occurred prior to the cam footage.
No, I have faith in you, dude. You can get one more. All right. So the name of the channel
I've probably earned that confidence, but we'll leave it there.
Lazarusco. I pinned it in my. It's in the description and it's pinned in my YouTube chat over here if anybody's interested. For the creator, he does this kind of stuff where he looks at top videos from like a weird kind of angle. Like, I don't know. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Who are you?
Every child deserves a caring mother, but what happens if the mother turns out to be straight up evil by taking life-threatening risks and traumatizing her children in the process? Here are 4 mothers who finally were caught during the act, starting with Callie Marola, who was seen beating up her ex-boyfriend while he was holding their toddler daughter. On February 2nd, 2022, a father refused to proceed with a scheduled...
And that is why I chose this video right there. I was supposed to watch this tomorrow, but okay.
Toddler custody exchange after observing that the toddler's mother, Kaylee, appeared to be intoxicated. Concerned for his toddler's safety, he logically decided not to allow the exchange. Upon arrival, the situation had already escalated.
Karen Cam.
This is just so you can see straight up her nose. Right? You know it's coming, right? They're fixing to go full hands on some short, dumpy white chick in a parking lot. It's gonna be great.
Hey! Stop that now! Get on the ground! Stop fighting! Stop resisting!
Wow.
You! Stop resisting!
I'm almost positive the last time I watched this video, all of this was visible. Okay. All right. YouTube. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. They're a stickler about any violence now. It's crazy. There you go. Yeah, they need more. More cops. Quick, bring more.
Got that one.
I got to admit, she is only about a 225-pound Karen. I don't feel like they need 37 people to deal with it.
Yeah, that's just how they do it, right?
Still resisting.
Stop resisting.
You still don't need that many cops.
I don't know. She
That
seems
reminds
fairly
me.
angry.
That reminds me of the Ron White skit where he's like, "I don't know how many of them it would have taken to beat me up, but I knew how many they were going to use."
I myself have been thrown across a parking lot like a frisbee. It has happened. I'm a big boy. That's not the kind of thing that generally happens to me. I can generally keep 4 or 5 people from throwing me. You know, there was more. There were just more. I crowd surfed out of that place.
I'm with General Schwarzkopf. You bring overwhelming force. Don't leave it anything up to chance.
I agree. That's kind of a Sun Tzu thing too.
Yeah,
he was a believer in overwhelming force. In fact, he was a firm believer in hiding the fact that you had an overwhelming force to put in place.
Oh yeah, like I said the other day, if you find yourself in a fair fight, your tactics suck.
Yeah, you've already screwed up if it's a fair fight. Because I'll shoot a man in a fair fight, or if I think he's going to start a fair fight.
I read an article yesterday about a sad thing. The 18-year-old girl that got shot when they pulled into the wrong guy's driveway. He came running out of the house with a gun, all scared. He tripped over something supposedly and shot through the back window of the car. Was 5 teenagers in there, and she was killed. Sad.
Bad shit does happen.
It's true.
You know what kills me about this type of video is like, not to pile on, but there are some women like this that think they can do whatever they want without any consequences at all. It's ridiculous.
That's all I do on YouTube is Karen Shorts. It's quite amazing. I've come to see a pattern where it's insane.
I think both of those people consent and being pummeled. I think that's the difference, is consent somehow. But wouldn't bum fights qualify for consent? I mean, they did it for a taco. I don't know. Anyway, so apparently she was drunk and tried to pick up her kid from a public place for her visitation time and just couldn't keep her big mouth shut. Started up with him. The new girlfriend was watching the kid. Meanwhile, some rando person that just saw what was going on called the cops. So you can't even really fault anybody involved in that one.
I mean, she shouldn't be driving, period. She shouldn't be picking up kids for sure. I mean,
For sure. Absolutely.
When you're in that position, you need to put the kids' feelings first. You know, okay, maybe your life sucks, but you've had your opportunities.
That's the sucky part about being an addict, you know, whether it's alcoholic or drugs, you don't realize what's going on. To you, nobody knows you're even drunk or high, you know?
Right. And the worst part is, in my experience, the people who are fucked up, they know they're fucked up, refuse to admit they're fucked up, and continue fucking.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you can't help them until they're no longer on that shit. You got to wait until they're at least clean enough to try to get clean.
Yep.
Everybody quitting tomorrow.
It's not like she doesn't love her kids. She's just not fucking in her right mind.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of cases they think about their own feelings more than anyone else's, even their kids. Not saying that's the case here, but you see it a lot in this type of video. They'll use the kid to get at the other person that they're mad at. It's bullshit.
That's one thing I have to give my baby mama enormous credit for. We have never been the type to utilize our children as weapons against one another. We've never given enough of a shit about each other to care. We're just aware of each other's existence, and we happen to have a small brood of children.
A small herd.
Small town. I mean, it's inevitable. You'll hear everything about everybody. So, like, I don't have to try to get involved in their life. People make me involved with their life because they just assume that either I know or I want to know. And none of this is true. It's none of my business. Unless she calls me up and says, "Hey, Sasquatch, this is the situation," I'm not interested.
And most importantly, it's not the kids' business. You know, they don't need to be involved in the adult shit.
I agree. My children are all adult now, so like they are kind of involved in some of the adult crap because I don't think I've actually spoken to this woman twice in the past like year directly to her face. It's always been one of the kids run in and say some crap and leave, and then at some other point in time, I'll text one of the other youngins, whoever's at the top of the list.
When they're adults, they can make their own decisions, but when you try and put them in the middle of shit, that's just irritates me.
Oh, that's another thing. It's never shit. It's never like anything like that. It's always like where are you getting dropped off, or what time do you need to be picked up, or whatever, some crap like that. Let your mama know you're getting picked up by me. Don't just let her wonder. That kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I was talking about the videos. You see some just vile crap.
Yeah,
there are some terrible people in the world.
That is true. That is
true.
Humans. Yes. That's part of the reason why I do these streams, is because I'm trying to convince people that monsters don't look like monsters. Typically, those big scary guys that you come across aren't all that scary. They are aware that they look scary, and so they're a lot nicer than you would expect because they've been scary for a long time.
Who's it? Jordan Peterson says you really can't be a good person unless you have the capability to be bad. Otherwise, you're just harmless.
You're immaterial. You have no effect on your life or the people in your life, and so you're completely immaterial. If you have the ability to harm someone, then you are a force to be reckoned with, because ironically, that seems to be something most people lack.
More and more.
Hey, Tiff. Welcome in, girl. M's Mad World. Good to see you. You got a whole pile of folks over here in chat. I'm trying to wait for this one to finally finish. Oh, yep. Here we go. Oh, this isn't good. You see where this is starting. Poor woman out driving, having a schnapps.
conducting an investigation. I need you to step out of the car. You're not going anywhere. Okay? You understand? Nope. You're gonna step out of the vehicle right now, please. Thank you. You're being completely ridiculous. Why don't you have a seat on the ground?
You asked for
Why
me.
don't you, ma'am?
You asked me for some ID. Yes or no?
Well, because you have your purse on
I went to go get you some ID.
All right. So this is one of those people who has become used to talking to her children. And she thinks everyone in her life is going to respond the way her children do. We, ladies and gentlemen, are not her children. And we may respond by going, drunk ass bitch. She's going to jail. You know she's going straight to jail, right? She tried to go pick up some kids while she was hammered. This isn't acceptable.
All right, let's see her go to jail. I want to see her go down. See her eat some turf.
I go get him some ID.
I don't need an ID right now, ma'am. I'd really appreciate it, though, if you could hang tight for a second. Can we...
That woman got some troll feet, too. You see those things?
I'm an auditor, so this shit comes up on every fucking... I've seen all these videos.
Well, I'm proud of you. I bet they tase her.
No comment.
No comment, huh?
Can we do that, please? I would really appreciate that.
Asked me for some ID.
I understand.
I am trying to comply with the person who has threatened to arrest me if I do not comply. What's on your video?
So.
You.
Why? You're under arrest. Why? Domestic battery. I need you to stop tensing up. I need you to stop tensing up. Ma'am?
Why?
I need you to stop.
Domestic battery.
Okay.
Because why?
I need you to stop.
Domestic battery because why?
Okay. Ma'am, I need you to just loosen up.
Ma'am, I don't want to hurt you. Please drop your purse.
Please tell me why I am
drop your purse.
Please tell me why
Ma'am, I advised you.
domestic battery. Are you?
Did they not say domestic battery like 17 times?
At least.
You are under arrest for domestic battery. Why am I under arrest?
Selective hearing. She's like a man. She's got selective hearing.
They didn't say it like this. You are under arrest for domestic battery.
I don't believe she would have listened to that. She is not believing any of this. I'm telling you, she has mama syndrome. She has been talking to nothing but her children and her children's friends for so long that she just assumes everyone in her life will bow down and do what she wants. So when she says she's going home, she actually means it.
Yeah, I don't think she hears anything.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to her. You don't have any authority over mama. You don't think so? Come on, hippie. It's white knight in here. Come swinging to the rescue. Come on, baby. I'm baiting you up real good. Come on.
I honestly feel bad for her. You know, I just, I don't know. She, like you said, she's been running everybody's life so long that in her life that, you know, she feels like she can do it to everybody. I'm more enticed to say she's entitled. I run into these kind of women all the time in the town halls and stuff. You can't film me, blah, blah, you know?
That's exactly it. These people live such sheltered and pampered lives that the people around them just let them get away with this type of activity so much in their personal life that when they get out in public, they just expect everyone around them to act like their children and their children's friends.
So in a way, I kind of feel bad for her. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
No,
but she did bring this upon herself. She got up morning. She beat up her husband and she tried to go grab some kids from school.
I so wanted to say that. Imagine being her husband. Ouch. Treating you like a kindergarten student.
Hey, can you see her doing the stick and move over there? Just like I'm willing to bet you dollars to donuts that it involved a method. It almost always does. All right, let's see. Let's watch her get tased.
Are you taping this?
Of course we are.
Why I am under arrest for domestic. You're gonna hurt yourself, ma'am. I don't want.
Anyone. I have a video and obvious signs of injury, ma'am. That's why you're under.
Now, let me point out, if that was a average sized man, they would have already fed him that sidewalk in 2 easy doses.
I think even women a lot of times, she's definitely getting spoiled. I agree with you there.
If she's being well treated. Let's see how long it lasts.
Right now.
Injury of what kind?
Are you able to stand up without me supporting you? No.
Okay, we're not going to play the game. Listen.
I'd have been eating Pachysandra.
Recovering position. Here we go. Here we go. Ma'am, are you okay?
Just fake passing
Passed out?
No, she's faking it. I'm almost positive she's faking it. She sat down and then laid down.
Oh, ma'am, I don't.
Watch this takedown.
Nice cuffs, gotta say.
Yeah, I was looking at those. I'd like a pair. They're kind of hot.
I wonder if they're plastic.
Was that them tasing her? I didn't see a taser.
Nah.
She's unconscious though, ain't she? They're shaking the shit out of her.
She's walking. She just went down.
Excuse me.
I could see you moving.
Keep opening. So let's get you stood up. Let's get you to the car.
Donna continues to make a fool of herself with her silly and embarrassing behavior. This is the first time that she plays the dead opossum move, but not the last time as a pathetic attempt to be left alone.
Donna, it's time to be an adult.
Donna,
why are we doing this? Let's just
everybody point and laugh.
like an adult.
okay, ready?
Up.
Go to her butt first. Okay.
Come on, Donna, we're walking. All right, here we go. Down.
You're gonna lay back down. I don't like going to jail. I'm gonna stay here.
This is like one of those bad videos for soccer when they.
They clowned on her. Yeah, you quit that napping shit. We're gonna throw your ass in the fucking box. Get in the box.
Sorry, bud.
Like a little kid. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's why I refer to this as like mother's syndrome. They just assume that everyone's just gonna let them get away with their bullshit. I bet you she's pulled this trash on her kids a dozen times, and it always gets a huge, wonderful response out of them.
That's crazy. That's my ex-wife.
Wait, we've already looked over this one.
Yeah, get the.
That's weird. Right, and that one too. So you're gonna go back and did I click the wrong button?
Yes.
Let's see how she gets to fuss at a cop. Let's see how she does.
First, could you please provide me the names? And by the way, when you say I was provided your name, how was I provided your name? Because I have absolutely no belongings of mine with me. What is your name, officer? The one.
What is your name, young man? You tell me right now. I can call your mother and tell her a what for.
What is your name? What is your quest?
What was that, Hippie?
I said she's seen some YouTube videos. What is your name?
Right? I'm pretty sure he identified himself 14 times back there at the house. We're beyond that, dude. She was under arrest 20 minutes ago. Once they say the words, "You are under arrest," your best bet is to just do what the nice officer tells you to and talk about it in court with a lawyer. You might beat the case. You will not beat that ride.
Who has arrested me and who is driving me to jail. Okay, we all know that everything in this car is taped, and now we know that this female officer who has blonde hair in a bun and who has earrings that hang down to her shoulders, and I do not know her name, but we all know that this officer is not willing to provide her name, even though she is driving me.
Okay, so what you're seeing is name and badge number. She's trying to force a response that the officer doesn't want to give.
Right.
Now, as long as the officer identifies herself at some point in time, or it's on the documentation, I don't think she's got a case on this one. She just tried to force someone to speak at a point in time they've chosen not to. Just because it's a cop doesn't change the fact that, you know, she's got a job to do and this chick's under arrest.
She still has to provide her name and badge number by policy.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to sit there and repeat it 150 times.
Well, has she said it once?
I'm sure. I mean, I skipped over a bit of the video while she was pretending to be asleep, and then she.
In my state, it's a law. They have to identify, not a
But
policy.
you don't have to identify 37 times just because they didn't hear you identify the first 4 times.
Well, you shouldn't have skipped the video, though. So then we can't really talk about this because we don't know if she did or did not identify.
That is in the past. Ask Rafiki. He knows all about it.
To the police station on a Friday afternoon in July, and she is saying that I am under arrest, but there is absolutely no record of an arrest, and I will be suing the Naperville Police Office for this arrest, and this officer is part and parcel of that. There is absolutely no grounds for my arrest, and she and every fellow officer knows it, and she nor any fellow officer will give their names.
Donna is most likely a former educational teacher, judging by the way she addresses her questions, the officers, and the situation in general. Donna, displaying ignorance, immaturity, and obnoxiousness, incorrectly insists that officers are legally required to provide their names upon request. In the state of Illinois, however, on-duty officers are not obligated to disclose their names during active incidents or in situations permitted by their department's policies.
This is for the tape, that it is illegal to take somebody from their home without telling them why. And this police officer who was
domestic there. Oh, we've got that covered.
It's in the police report.
Right? Exactly.
will not give me her name, will also not tell me why. And everything about this is illegal.
You can tell Donna is used to being in control of everything in her life, and now that she can't control anything, it's really making rage towards the officers. She was arrested and charged with 2 counts of domestic battery and resisting arrest. Now, for this next case, imagine Donna, but younger.
She didn't get tased then.
She did. I guess she did get tased. She just tried to nap it off. Fruitcakes.
She simulated simulated being tased.
It would be amazing if it worked, if you just fell asleep and they went away. I'm down.
Just go away, leave you alone. All right,
Wake
so
up and
right before Katrina hit. All right, hold on. Right before Katrina came through and leveled New Orleans, I went down there for a week and visited my my brother-in-law. We went anyway. we're down in New Orleans. We're hanging out, and this place is absolutely amazing. And I'm having a blast. This is pre-Katrina, so everything's still there. It's straight out of the Vampire Chronicles, right? So I'm walking around the block, and I come around to the back side of the block. There's this dude passed out in the gutter with a handle of Jim Beam just laid out next to him. And a couple of cops had just pulled up, and I was like, oh shit, poor bastard going to spend the night in the tank. And they bumped him and roused him. He sat up, he pointed at the place to know, this is my house, officer. I swear to God. And they said, okay, bud. And they picked him up, set him on the sidewalk, tucked his handle under his arm, stuck his hat back on his head, said, we'll send somebody by to come check on you in a couple hours. Just make sure you don't fall asleep out here. He's like, all right, officer. Plopped right back out. Just went back to sleep right there on the spot.
What do you think about that? You think that's cool of the cops, or you think it's because I mean, truthfully, they can be held responsible, right?
That gentleman was in no danger of causing danger to anyone other than a tripping hazard. And he was on a well-lighted sidewalk.
What if he died from over drinking while laying there in his...
That is his decision, as far as I've been able to determine. The only thing you can do is lock them up for a short period and force them to dry out. If they're going to drink themselves to death, bro, they're going to do it.
Right. I get that part. I just mean that's a big responsibility to walk away and leave a guy with a bottle really shit-faced. I mean, I like it, but
after Mardi Gras in this place. And so, and I want to reiterate, this is pre-Katrina, so we're not talking about this being an uncommon event.
Yep.
I mean,
I seen up in Boston a girl shooting up on the sidewalk when I did some filming up there, and the cop pulls up and he tells her to leave, and she pulls her shit out and puts it all away, and he lets her walk away. And at first I felt weird about it, but when you think about it, what good would it do to arrest her? She probably can't pay a fine. She's not going to get sober. So what are you really doing for her? Nothing. So I guess, I mean, it's the smartest thing to do. It just left him alone, right?
Right. I just had a really weird thing happen to my StreamYard. The whole screen was taken up by the number of viewers that I have. Apparently, I have a window I'm unaware of. I stumbled in and I couldn't find my way out. Okay, that was creepy. But back to the show.
And extremely intoxicated. On August 27th, 2023, a sergeant noticed a car driving without any lights. The driver then cut off the police officer, prompting the officer to pull them over. While dealing with the driver, the sergeant smelled alcohol. Concerned about the situation, the sergeant asked for help from another officer to conduct sobriety tests, as the driver wasn't cooperating.
He's trying to say I can't have fun. Well, why don't you just go and put your phone up for a sec? Do what the officer tells you, and then you can mess with your phone. I got you.
So you can imagine a line coming out of your left foot, right?
To this light, right?
It's not to anything. It's just
where's the line to? I don't know where I'm walking unless I know where I'm walking. It's an imaginary straight line, okay? Give me a proximity. Okay. Go ahead and stay right there. I'll stand over here on this end and stand.
How is this even legit? Like, this isn't, right? This isn't a thing. You can't walk an imaginary straight line and fail it.
Looks like a pretty gravelly, weird parking lot for fairness.
Yeah, no, we're not doing this, officer. I'm sorry. That's absolute fucking bullshit. I hope your camera's on, because I want to get this freaking tape so I can get filmed with me telling you that's absolute fucking bullshit.
Yeah, but it's not walking the straight line they're looking for.
Yeah, no,
that's
they're just
one part of
there
it.
is absolutely nothing you can do in inside sobriety that will get you out of it if they've decided they're going to arrest you. They would just make shit up. As soon as they get you over there, you fail. It does not matter what you do. Screw all that shit. I'll just go to jail. You can just take me to jail, bud. We're not doing that. We just take me to jail. I busted my pelvis wide open, dude. We're not walking lines. We're not stigmatizing. We're not none of that shit. No, sir.
Legally, that's your best option anyway. Because once you do it, then they have more evidence against you. So just let them take you and then get a lawyer.
Yeah, the DUI guy always says that. He always says, don't fucking do it. Don't do the litmus. Don't do any of that. Just it's easier to fight it in court. And he wins all the time. That's a great channel. DUI guy on YouTube.
Because most of the DUIs that are taken in are either within the legal limit and their roadside testing is just trash. Their dogs are trash. Their little toy tests that they get from freaking pharma, that's trash. That shit's making people ad hoc felons because of bird poop, drywall, and cotton candy. And that's facts. We have the video to prove those. How many other people out there went to jail because some kid chipped their tooth and they found it, thought it was a rock? And I'm just talking about the honest cops out there doing an honest day's work. I'm not even talking about the crooked bastards out there tipping shit.
This kid's clearly drunk, though, so it's like...
Yeah. Which is why I vote the internet laugh. That's the whole purpose. That's what we're here to do. We're laughing at these people because these assholes are breaking the law, obviously. On camera.
And when you want me to walk, I'll walk. I know how to walk. I know how to walk.
Look at how gravelly that is.
Yeah,
You want me
you
to
cut me a straight line and I'll snort it, but I ain't walking nothing.
That is ridiculous parking lot, bro. What the fuck?
You're not doing this. Not here, not there, not anywhere, not ever. No, sir. I'll just go to jail. We'll go to jail. I'll be out tomorrow. We'll go to jail. It'll be fine.
I can see some old buddies.
Just nah, sorry. I will look you straight in the eye and tell you whether I've been drinking or not, but I'm not going to play a freaking game of hokey pokey with you so you can point out the things I did wrong. This ain't Simon Says. That's a whole nother thing.
I went through a sobriety checkpoint one time and I look over to the left. I swear to God, there was an empty parking lot just full of guys out there doing the hokey pokey dance. Like, oh shit, I'm so screwed.
So I had this amazing luck with like the sobriety checkpoint things. Have you ever seen that car that pulls up and they just wave it through because all the officers are busy? That's me. I'm that asshole. I'm the dude they just wave through. They take one look at me and go, he looks so stoned. There's no way he's carrying. Just go away, dude. Go away.
Well, I'll put it this way. I've been stopped 3 times that they had me dead to rights and they let me go. And the times I have been arrested was when I was walking.
Right? Oh, I wonder what the deal with that is, though. I'm just saying. It seems suspect to me sometimes.
Oh, I deserved it when I got arrested.
These DUI stops are obviously about generating money, whether they catch you with weed, drugs, guns, no license, no registration.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about money.
Half the time, if you show up with a lawyer, you don't even make it to any kind of a plea because they drop charges just because you have a lawyer.
Look at this parking lot, though. It's insane that they would even ask the kid. There's a giant rock like a foot behind him there. Look at that thing. It's like fucking...
There's some shoes over there, too.
Look, there's a guy laying in the bushes.
Like, what the fuck is this place? This place is weird. Hold on.
You want my hand on my side?
That's fine. What you're doing is fine.
Look at this.
Okay?
We got at least 2 people peeping through
So
the
you're
window.
gonna
Do you see a problem with this?
You're gonna take none.
And he told you there is none. I don't have no hands, right? Put your hands down to your side. Look at my hands. If you want to beat me to, like, put me down already.
Who said that? That's not going to happen. Okay.
Okay, so then
If y'all just beat my ass and let me go, that'd be fine.
Continue with the
You can't to.
No, my mom's right here.
Okay, well then you're under arrest. Okay, so turn around.
But just leave your hands behind your back, okay?
The son urgently messaged his mom for help, but when she arrived, the situation took a turn for the worse for both of them.
I just turned 19, bro.
Oh, Mom. No. I bet she's been over there drinking tequila and popping zaddies all day. Oh, Mama, no. No, Mama. No. No, ma'am.
Oh, my God, bro.
Mommy, come help me. I'll be there in a moment, son. Oh no!
Squealing tires around the corner,
Right.
drunk.
Right. I bet she's on her 14th beer. I bet he left to go get her another 6-pack.
Ironically, that's where I was headed when I went through the sobriety checkpoint.
Get another 6-pack, makes sense. That's exactly how.
Well, okay, we left to get another 12-pack, and we had a pit stop at a strip club, and then we left there. We ended up at the sobriety checkpoint.
That's how that works. That's exactly how that works, dude. You ever wonder what would have happened if you'd have taken a right instead?
I'd had a lot longer drive.
I don't think so. I got $1 that says those assholes had another checkpoint down the other end of that road too.
Well, the weird part is, by law, they're supposed to put that in the newspaper in the local town you live in when they put those things out. So it's public knowledge.
Wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't have read it.
Right? Yeah, I don't read newspapers either.
Bro,
I've never seen.
I just saying like, hey, let's come over here and I'll tell you. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, your son's been drinking. He's drunk. He's not.
They have no experience that I've been drinking, bro.
The officer explained the whole situation to the mother, but it turns out the mother is also a piece of work and just as drunk as her son, if not more. Let's just say that she definitely didn't pass along her finest wisdom and her best traits, as you will see now.
No, please.
All right. So yeah, I guarantee you this kid went down to like the one store he could go buy liquor for his mom. That's why he called Mama's, because I told you I was too drunk to drive. I'm only 14. Dear Lord. Mama, help me.
What state is this, by the way? Do we know?
No idea.
Oh, they don't give us any info either.
That's the one thing I don't like about this particular channel is the videos are good. Typically,
I'm gonna say Colorado. She's from Colorado.
one look at her. She's from Colorado.
Yeah, shit, we can't see it though. Damn it.
I'll give it to you. Okay. I mean, look at the. Yeah. Okay, I'll buy that.
Please don't do this, man. Please.
We already did.
Oh shit!
Did he just take off running?
He did. He ran towards the cruiser and jumped on the hood.
No, the last scene there is him planting his foot on the door of that cruiser, like he's going to try to run across the top of it. I don't think you need to do what that nice man with the firearm tells you to. I mean, we're beyond the point where discussing it's going to make any difference.
But Jose said,
Jose Cuervo, you are a friend of mine. Jose, what have you done to me?
Go ahead and do it. You can jump right over.
It's a bird.
They'll never
really drunk.
They'll never catch you.
It's really drunk, man. It's a hat man.
Laugh at the people on the internet. That is the way it is done.
Are you tired, officer? Look, I'm a hat man.
That'll definitely get you in the tank. You're going in the tank for the night, bud. Because he's seen the hat man. You just creeped him out.
I agree with Firm Audits. He says, I have no pity for drinkers or drunkards. Not if they're driving, man.
Okay. So there is drinking and then there is drunking, right? As long as I'm drinking, I'm a perfectly rational individual. We can have conversations and discussions and disagree and go our separate ways and no problem. If I drink one pint and one shot, I become a drunkard, at which point in time I'm no longer rational, cannot make decent decisions, and will probably hit on your mom. It's just unreasonable. I don't like that, man.
That's how I am. Ask AJOT at my last birthday party. I've gotten drunk twice in 2 years, and it's been on YouTube Lives, and I was yelling "I love you" to AJOT, all drunk.
Every single.
You said you loved my girlfriend, dude.
I did. I did.
Sparkle Sip for the win, folks.
Every single time I drink
Team Edward.
one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. I wake up with sand in the hair. I'm like, what the hell?
Her name was Sandy, not Sand. Good God, man.
He has never woken up with me in his hair.
Good call.
All right. This has gone horribly wrong.
And I have to get up at 3 a.m. So I'm out.
I do apologize. I'm a terrible person. I just mean to be funny. And if you didn't like that joke, that just means you didn't like that joke.
I don't have any problem with that joke.
No, that was for the people in the cheap seats. I hope we don't have problems. It would be strange. Let's see how this works out for Miss Supermom over here.
Tell her not to leave that, not to touch that officer.
Stop! You better quit. Hey.
Touch the other officer. You attacked him. You want to get charged with battery on a police officer?
Like mother, like son. You can't make this up.
What the your problem, man? You don't touch him. I didn't hit him. You jumped on his back. No, I did. Yes, you did.
Don't touch my kid. Don't touch my kid. You got the problem.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Don't touch my kid.
Okay, whatever.
Who is the girl?
I didn't hit you. I didn't hit you.
What's your problem?
I didn't hit you.
Wait.
Your problem is you're drunk.
Who cares the drunk? I don't give a.
So far, both the officer and his sergeant have handled the situation very professionally and maintained their self-control. The mother, however, is just getting started and wants a real fight.
You hit him, my kid. You.
Don't square off on me.
Why is she not in cuffs?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Come on.
I feel like she's going to get knocked the fuck out.
If she already attacked the officer, why is she not in cuffs?
I agree. That was my
Shoot
question.
on gravel.
Shouldn't she already be under arrest?
Pulled you off of him. Go talk to the sergeant.
Don't you ever.
Talk to the sergeant.
Mom of the year for sure. Eventually, additional units pulled up to wrap up this situation.
So I want to approach surface of him. I don't want to approach every part I can do on him. Because he's a.
She said to hold her purse because that's where she's keeping her beer.
Sasquatch won't have you hold his purse. He'll hit you with his purse.
Listen, whether you truly wanted to attack me or not, if you're coming at me, he's gonna defend that. Okay.
The passenger's been drinking.
You were wrong.
Man,
You were wrong.
come over and speak with me.
Passenger said he's had 3-4.
Now that the adrenaline's wearing off, she's getting even more drunk. You see that?
Yeah.
She can't even do W's anymore.
I can't believe she's not arrested for jumping on the back. That's incredible.
Right. Dude, if that was me or you, we ain't got work with the guys with the hoses. Like, be over there hitting us with bags of socks. Socks full of oranges.
I'd look like the gravel all over the fucking parking lot. That'd be me.
Damn right. Grind off a couple of inches. Oh my God. They'd have messed me up.
Taser, Billy Club, fucking
taser. Don't tase me, bro.
He's an auditor. Tase him.
We can have him get a ride.
I didn't know somebody else drove her. I thought she drove here because I was going to do field tests on her.
No, you saw them.
Yeah.
So the female jumped on your deputy's back?
On the sergeant's back. I said, we just need to pop her for battery and appeal.
Yeah.
I don't think he
Was
wanted
she
to do
even
that.
in the car?
No, she was in this car.
Oh, so she just drove.
This is mom.
Yeah, I got that.
He called mom during the traffic stop.
And she shows up and jumps on his back?
Yeah, and she shows up intoxicated.
So she drove there?
On camera anyway. Her jumping on his back.
Through their ignorance and
like,
stupidity.
how in hell did she manage to drive up drunk, attack a cop, and then walk the frick away?
I am fucking complete because she's She's good looking. I don't know. I guess.
She's all right. You reckon she's throwing it around to the police department locally, and that's why they want to lock her up?
I
And it
say
was
you
just
go.
unfortunate that her kid ended up dealing with a woman.
I say you go outside and jump on a cop's back and let us know how that turns out. Okay.
Right. I agree.
They'd grind off a couple of inches off me, man.
Me
On that
too.
gravel parking lot, they'd rub me around in that sandwich like rock salt.
Just showing up drunk like that, they'd ground me all up.
Right? Anyway, poor kid has a terrible mom. It's not his fault. He doesn't get to choose. But he now you go get me another handle of that liquor like the man said he'd give you if you go over there. I wonder what's in the car. I'm so curious what's actually in the car. Because if there's like a 6-pack or a 12-pack in that car, this all makes perfect sense. But I don't know.
I don't think we're going to see that.
They're not going to tell us that. There's no way. What's up, Anarchy?
This other cop's hot to arrest her. You hear him? What? He jumped out? He's sounding like we are right now. Like, what the fuck?
Stupidity. The son and his mother ended up facing more charges than needed, while the police maintained their professionalism throughout the situation. The mother was arrested and charged with battery upon a peace officer and resisting, evading, or obstructing an officer. The son was charged with aggravated DWI, resisting, evading, or obstructing an officer and improper equipment. But if you thought that was crazy, wait until you see our next case about a mother who brought her...
Oh, wow.
With the teeth.
All both of them. Go brush your tooth, bitch.
She's got summer teeth.
Is that less than winter teeth?
Some are there, some aren't.
Some are not. I got you, bro.
That blew right over your head, bro.
Yeah, dude, I was in here reading some shit in chat, and like,
how do you know?
My brain, I might have ironed that wrinkle out of my brain earlier today. I'm gonna work on another one here. Let's go.
How do you know she's from Kentucky?
Please tell me.
Because anywhere else she'd call it a teeth brush.
and there's a Caucasian Sasquatch next short.
That'll do. That'll do. That'll do.
Her entire family in danger, including their dogs. On May 6, 2022, numerous 911 calls were made regarding the driver's behavior. Eventually, the police located the vehicle in a Taco Bell parking lot and discovered that the driver was Natasha Coker, accompanied by her 2 dogs, pregnant daughter, and 3 young kids.
Hi, guys. How are we? We have reports of this car swerving everywhere. It was a little white car with dim headlights. You know your headlights are dim, right? They're like lamps. Yeah. Are they not on right now? Are you okay? Yeah. Are you under the influence of any narcotics? No. You sure you're not? Miss, I need you to pay.
I do not believe you. That should be where this conversation ends. No, I'm not on narcotics. I don't believe you. Step out of the car. You're under arrest. The rest of this is just theater.
She should have asked you why you got some.
Right. That's definitely helped the situation.
They can turn it into all kinds of other shit, like assault on a police officer and obstructing and resisting. And, you know, this is just the beginning of the fishing or hunting trip, whatever you want to call it.
Fishing. We call it fishing because that sounds so fantastic.
Manly? Sounds so manly. We're going fishing. Ugh.
I suddenly don't like it anymore.
Pay attention to me right now. Step out and talk to me.
I'm not disturbing.
Your speech is very slurred.
Okay, and I'm sitting here in the parking lot.
Yeah. Step out and talk to me now.
Ma'am,
I will reach in and grab you and pull you out. I have that ability, okay? Ma'am, can you step out of the car for me, please?
Don't touch me.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car, please.
And he is putting cans on us, and me and my mom, and I am pregnant. I am pregnant. You
better let go of her unless you want to go to jail too.
I don't give no. I am pregnant.
She couldn't afford to give a fuck if it was financed.
She's so poor she can't pay attention.
Damn right. How you expect her to follow laws? Wow, this is fixing to get spicy, y'all. You ready for it? It's gonna go blurry a lot. Which one to bet? I'm telling you, when I first watched this video, all the stuff was there. Like, anyway.
That is you are scaring my little siblings. Get off. This is my mom. You will not put hands on my mom. Just because you're a police.
Yes, that is exactly what you are under arrest means, is they will put hands on absolutely everybody in that car. And if you have more people in the car than they have hands, they will call more hands to come put their hands on the people in your car too.
Well, the sad part is, it's like like this Ken said earlier, that the mother and the grandmother aren't thinking about the kids. The poor kids are screaming, they're upset. That they should have just cooperated, even though you shouldn't cooperate just because you don't want to traumatize your poor kids. Granted, they shouldn't have been fucking out there.
But the place to argue, it's not in a fucking parking lot with drunk person behind the wheel.
Exactly. Once those magic words are stated, you are under arrest. At that point in time, the only proper response is to put your hands behind your back, tell them where your firearms are, and just go along with them. I hate to be that guy. Now, I'm assuming we're past that point of reason.
You messed that up, though. You put your hands behind your back and you do not answer questions. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
correct.
So at that point, again, in the infamous words of Ron White, I had the right to remain silent, but I didn't have the ability.
I know.
That's why I won't go auditing. I'm so terrified my mockingbird mouth is going to get the better of my hummingbird ass.
In Massachusetts, a police stop is a legal arrest. That's a form of arrest. You as the driver have to comply.
Right.
It's not all states are like that, but my state is super fucking whack. And when you're in a traffic stop, that's considered an arrest, and you are to comply with whatever.
Well, I imagine everybody pretty well knows they're just going to scream obnoxiously for like the next 12 minutes. So we're going to let this roll until they get to something we can actually see.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the kids screaming, honestly, because
not interested.
She's pregnant, hanging out the window like that. Fucking psycho.
Right? She's gonna take on an entire squad of cops.
She's gonna be a great mom.
Kelly.
What a great mom.
Right?
You realize you got 3 little Johnnies in that car right now.
That's sad.
It is. It's terrifying. These are the people that will be taking care of us in 30 years. Consider that.
Ouch.
What's funny is she thinks she's pregnant and she gets some kind of pass for everything.
Right.
She's got.
It's the mama privilege.
Yeah.
She's got some of her teeth too. Some are there, some are not. I like that.
I'll be pissing people off. I'll tell the motherfucker go wash his tooth real quick.
I've only got like 3 teeth, so I know all about that.
No, pulled me out of my car and put me in handcuffs.
I asked you nicely to step out.
No, you did. No.
That's enough of that shit. I think that's enough of that shit in general, frankly. Let's drop that out of existence because, dear God, I've had enough of those people. They just bother the shit. What you think about the Hat Man now?
The sad part is, I hate to say this, but every video that you showed, more or less, cops were within reason to what they were doing. I mean, we didn't really see any douchey blah, 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 you know what I mean? Which is quite amazing, truthfully.
Well, I mean, not all cops are always assholes. Sometimes they help people out. They really do.
But you just showed 3 incidents of dozens of cops that all seem to be pretty fair. I mean, I hate to say
even
that.
if they're dicks, though, that's not the place to have it out. It's not going to end well for you.
Exactly. There is no outcome on the side of the road where screaming at a cop is going to work out for you. And so once they say the magic words, you are under arrest. You shut the fuck up. You go in and do exactly what you comply all the way through the system until you get in front of a judge where you can go now.
And then you have a good lawyer to do the and now for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is money privilege. That is not white privilege. Not all of us know a lawyer. All right, who wants to do talk out tonight? Who's going to do it? Which one of y'all? Toe?
Not me, bro. Shit. I ain't been on a panel in weeks. I'm rusty as shit.
Right. Do the rust. Give me some rust, baby. Come on.
I ain't got it, man. You know how I do my time. All right. Well, y'all, I guess we're gonna get out of here, and this is the Caucasian Sasquatch Show. I am Toe for Life. That's my boy, Caucasian Sasquatch. My other boy, Wandering Hippie, and I forgot the other guy's name. I'm sorry.
King Jack Ripper.
And we out this bitch, y'all. Toodles.
Hat Man.
Magnificent. Absolutely 100%.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
But if I lay down